Solve the problem. Tyler McGinnis invested some money at 3% simple interest and some money at 5% simple interest. The total amount of his investments was $32,000, and the interest he earned during the first year was $1,320. How much did he invest at each rate? Let's start with step one and read the problem carefully. We've done that. Step two, define your variables. Let's let x represent the amount invested at 3%. And 32,000 minus x then represent the amount invested at 5%. We're going to use the equation I is equal to PRT. That's interest is equal to principal times rate times time. And I'd like to use a table to help me organize my information. Our principal amounts we've defined as x and 32,000 minus x. X was the amount at 3%. 32,000 minus x was the amount at 5%. We're told that the amount of time that has elapsed is 1 year, so I'm going to choose to put this column for time in and enter that time amount as 1. Now, to determine the amount of interest earned at 3% on an amount of x, we're going to multiply these quantities. So x times 0.03 times 1 is a 0.03x. The same for our second row. To determine the amount of interest earned at 5% on the amount 32,000 minus x is the product of these values. So let's write that as 0.05 times 32,000 minus x. Now we're told that the sum of these two interest amounts is equal to $1,320. So we're going to use this last column to write our equation. The amount of interest earned at 3% plus the amount of interest earned at 5% totals 1,320, or 0.03x plus 0.05 times 32,000 minus x is equal to 1,320. So we have our equation in step 3. Now let's solve that equation as step 4. I'm going to start by multiplying everything through by 100 to remove the decimal points from this problem. So 100 times 0.03 is 3. Take that product times x. 100 times 0.05 is 5. Now take that product times 32,000 minus x. Don't forget on the right, 100 times 1,320. It's going to add 2 zeros, making that a 132,000. Now let's solve this resulting equation. 3x plus 5 times that 32,000 is 160,000. Minus 5 times x is equal to 132,000. Combining like terms on the left, 3x and a negative 5x is negative 2x. Subtracting 160,000 from both sides gives a negative 28,000 on the right. As a last step, divide both sides by negative 2, so x is equal to 14,000. Now let's state our answer very clearly. X was the amount at 3%, so we can say then that $14,000 is invested at 3%. We want to know the amount of each investment. We defined earlier that 32,000 minus x gives the amount at 5%, so let's use that to find our other amount. So 32,000 minus x, or minus 14,000, gives 18,000 as our amount invested at 5%. So we've solved the problem, 14,000 at 3%, 18,000 at 5%. As a last step, let's check those values. We want to check them in our original equation. And we want to answer the question, is 3% of 14,000 or 0.03 times 14,000, plus 5% of 18,000, or 0.05 times 18,000, truly equal to our interest amount of $1,320. Multiplying 0.03 times 14,000, that's 420. 0.05 times 18,000 is 900. And yes, that is equal to a sum of 1,320. That checks out. So our solution is 14,000 at 3%, 18,000 at 5%.